Songs to Joannes. Spawn of fantasies, silting the appraisable pig Cupid, his rosy snout, rooting erotic garbage, once upon a time, pulls a weed white and star-topped among wild oats sown in mucous membrane. I would an eye in a Bengal light, eternity in a sky rocket, constellations in an ocean whose rivers run no fresher than the trickle of saliva. There are suspect places. I must live in my lantern, trimming subliminal flicker virginal to the bellows of experience. Colored glass. The skin sack in which a wanton duality packed all the completions of my infructuous impulses, something the shape of man, to the casual vulgarity of the merely observant, more of a clockwork mechanism running down against time, to which I am not paced. My fingertips are numb from fretting your hair, a god's doormat on the threshold of your mind. We might have coupled in the bed-ridden monopoly of a moment, or broken flesh with one another at the profane communion table, where wine is spilt on promiscuous lips. We might have given birth to a butterfly with the daily news printed in blood on its wings. Once, in a mezzanino, the starry ceiling vaulted an unimaginable family, bird-like abortions, with human throats and wisdom's eyes, who wore lampshade red dresses and woolen hair. One bore a baby in a padded porte-enfant, tied with a sarcenet ribbon to her goose's wings. But for the abominable shadows, I would have lived among their fearful furniture, to teach them to tell me their secrets, before I guessed, sweeping the brood clean out. Midnight empties the street, of all but us three. I am undecided which way back. To the left, a boy. One wing has been washed in the rain, the other will never be clean any more. Pulling doorbells to remind those that are snug. To the right, a haloed ascetic, threading houses, probes wounds for souls. The poor can't wash in hot water. And I don't know which turning to take, since you got home to yourself. First, I know the wire puller intimately, and if it were not for the people of whom you keep one eye, you could look straight at me, and time would be set back. My pair of feet smack the flagstones, that are something left over from your walking. The wind stuffs the scum of the white street into my lungs and my nostrils. Exhilarated birds, prolonging flight into the night, never reaching. I am the jealous storehouse of the candle ends that lit your adolescent learning. Behind God's eyes, there might be other lights. When we lifted our eyelids on love, a cosmos of colored voices and laughing honey, and spermatozoa at the core of nothing, in the milk of the moon. Shuttlecock and battledore, a little pink love, and feathers astrewn. Dear one at your mercy, our universe is only a colorless onion. You derobe sheath by sheath, remaining a disheartening odor above your nervy hands. Voices break on the confines of passion, desire, suspicion, man, woman, solve in the humid carnage. Flesh from flesh draws the inseparable delight, kissing it gasps to catch it. Is it true that I have set you apart, inviolate in an utter crystallization of all the jolting of the crowd, taught me willingly to live, to share? Or are you only the other half of an ego's necessity, scourging pride with compassion, to the shallow sound of dissonance and boom of escaping breath? Come to me. There is something I have got to tell you, and I can't tell. Something taking shape, something that has a new name, a new dimension, a new use, a new illusion. It is ambient, and it is in your eyes. Something shiny, something only for you, something that I must not see. It is in my ears, something very resonant, something that you must not hear, something only for me. Let us be very jealous, very suspicious, very conservative, very cruel. Or we might make an end of the jostling of aspirations, disorb in violet egos. Where 2 or 3 are welded together, they shall become God. Oh, that's right. Keep away from me. Please give me a push. Don't let me understand you. Don't realize me. Or we might tumble together, depersonalized, identical, into the terrific nirvana. Me, you, me. Today, everlasting, passing, apparent, imperceptible. To you, I bring the nascent virginity of myself for the moment. No love or the other thing. Only the impact of lighted bodies knocking sparks off each other in chaos. Seldom trying for love. Fantasy dealt them out as gods. 2 or 3 men looked only human, but you alone, superhuman. Apparently, I had to be caught in the weak eddy of your driveling humanity to love you most. We might have lived together in the lights of the Arno, or gone apple-stealing under the sea, or played hide-and-seek in love and cobwebs, and a lullaby on a tin pan, and talked till there were no more tongues to talk with, and never have known any better. I don't care where the legs of the furniture are walking to, or what is hidden in the shadows they stride, or what would look at me if the shutters were not shut. Red, a warm color on the battlefield, heavy on my knees as a counterpane. Counter. I counted the fringe of the towel, till 2 tassels clinging together let the square room fall away from a round vacuum, dilating with my breath. Out of the severing of hill from hill, the interim of star from star, the nascent static of night. Nothing so conserving as cool, cleaving note of the GHU, clear carving, breath-giving, pollen-smelling space. White telling of slaking, drinkable through fingers, running water, grass holms, grow, to. Leading astray of fireflies, aerial quadrille, bouncing off one another, again conjoining in recaptured pulses of light. You too had something, at that time, of a green-lit glowworm, yet slowly drenched to raylessness in rain. Let joy go solace-winged to flutter whom she may concern. I store up nights against you, heavy with shut flowers' nightmares. Stack noons, curled to the solitaire core of the sun. Green things grow, salads, for the cerebral forager's revival, upon bossed bellies of mountains, rolling in the sun and flowered flummery, breaks to my silly shoes. In ways without you, I go, gracelessly, as things go. Laughter in solution, stars in a stare, irredeemable pledges of pubescent consummations, rot to the recurrent moon, bleach to the pure white wickedness of pain. The procreative truth of me petered out in pestilent teardrops, little lusts and lucidities and prayerful lies, muddled with the heinous acerbity of your street corner smile. Licking the Arno, the little rosy tongue of dawn interferes with our eyelashes. We twiddle to it round and round, faster, and turn into machines. Till the sun subsides in shining, melts some of us into abysmal pigeonholes. Passion has bored in warmth. Some few of us grow to the level of cool plains, cutting our foothold with steel eyes. Shedding our petty pruderies. From slit eyes, we sidle up to nature, that irate pornographist. Nucleus. Nothing. Inconceivable concept in sentient repose. The hands of races drop off from immodifiable plastic. The contexts of our ephemeral conjunction, in aloofness from much, flowed to the approachment of nothing. There was a man and a woman in the way, while the irresolvable rubbed our daily deaths. Impossible eyes. The steps go up forever, and they are white, and the first step is the last white, forever. Colored conclusions smelt to synthetic whiteness of my emergence, and I am burnt quite white in the climacteric withdrawal of your sun, and wills and words all white, suffuse, illimitable monotone. White, where there is nothing to see but a white towel, wipes the semophonous sweat. Mist rise of living from your etiolate body, and the white dawn of your new day shuts down on me. Unthinkable, that white over there. Is smoke from your house? Evolution. Fall foul of sexual equality, prettily miscalculate similitude. Unnatural selection. Breed such sons and daughters as shall gibber at each other, uninterpretable cryptonyms under the moon. Give them some way of braying brassily for caressive calling, or to homophonous hiccups transpose the laugh. Let them suppose that tears are snowdrops, or molasses, or anything than human insufficiencies begging dorsal vertebrae. Let meeting be the turning to the Antipodean and form a blur anything than seduce them to the one as simple satisfaction for the other. Let them clash together from their incognitos in seismic orgasm. For far further differentiation, rather than watch own self-distortion wince in the alien ego. In some prenatal plagiarism, fetal buffoons caught tricks. From archetypal pantomime, stringing emotions looped aloft. For the blind eyes that nature knows us with, and the most of nature is green. What guarantee for the protoform we fumble, our souvenir ethics too? Crucifixion of a busybody, longing to interfere, so, with the intimacies of your insolent isolation. Crucifixion of an illegal's ego, eclosion on your equilibrium, caryatid of an idea. Crucifixion, racked arms, index extremities, in vacuum, to the unbroken fall. The moon is cold, Joannes. Where the Mediterranean, the prig of passion, to your professorial paucity. Protoplasm was raving mad, evolving us. Love, the preeminent littérateur.